call this meeting to order, and please stand for Indigenous Land Acknowledgement and the National Anthem. Thank you.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Be seated. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming this afternoon, and we'll do our best to help people feel better than you do right now. Oh, can you not hear me?
It's on.
It's on. Sorry, I'm talking. Yeah, Renee, you can't hear me? No. Okay, good. And then we all do the same thing. We have a microphone and we talk over here. So, thank you. Anyways, we'll do our best. Yes. Okay. Any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Declare that closed. Need approval of the agenda. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Sharp. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. We've got a short agenda, I hope. Delegations and petitions done. Public input. Anything for public input? We'll give you a chance when we talk about your proposal to speak directly and specifically. So, okay. Comments and reports is where we're at. We'll start with whatever you choose. We can work down the list. Get the list, or okay, we'll work down the list. Okay. First one is Warriors calling paintball field. Okay, asking for $5,000. They received nothing in 2023. So give me your direction. Councillor Reid, Councillor Freeman, and Councillor Steddle are with us as well. Right there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Am I sure? Councillor Sharp.
Oh, thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor, to the this application, I don't believe the intent of the grant was for private sector operations, and as I read this, it does appear to be private sector, and if so, then I wouldn't be supporting any funds towards this application, and I just want to know if we need further clarification. I know we've been giving lots of background. Thank you, Mr. Denowden. But that would be my perspective. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Quinte?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I agree with Councillor Sharp and wonder if this application could be redirected to another agency that assists small businesses. Tranval is exactly where this person should be looking for help and assistance for any small business. If you're looking for guidance or some funding, or you need a grant of some sort, that's what Tranval is here to assist all of our Quinte community with.
Well, if we turn them down, they'll have to look elsewhere, right?
Well, we could give them some guidance. We could
Well,
say, thanks
I
for
don't know
applying, but
Tranval, we'll certainly.
give them a referral.
Okay, I think they can handle that. But anyways,
Is the applicant here today?
anyone here for the paintball club at all? No? Okay. All right, so I guess I need consensus on this one. I need to know. Well, we can do a motion, but all right, we'll do a motion. Okay. Councillor Sharp, Councillor Elliott, any,
My motion is it be denied and they be recommended, as Councillor Kunze has indicated, to possibly other agencies that are provide startup funds, such as Trendval.
Okay,
But
so-
that it be denied, sir.
all right, so right now I have a motion to deny. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Trenton Seniors Glee Club?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
thank you. Through you to staff, I'd like to give direction next year that any private for-profit business should not be considered eligible for these types of grants.
Well, I think, Director Denowden, do you want to respond to that, or please?
Yeah, through your worship, we can take another look at the policy. There are a lot of nonprofit but non-charities that are in here. I guess qualifying the for-profit. Yeah, we can look at the wording in the policy on this and maybe bring it back. So yeah, we'd need a motion to approve that, to review the policy and bring the policy back with changes around the for-profit status.
Thank you, that's fine. Yes.
I'd like to make the motion for them to review the policy.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay, all right, seconded by Councillor McHugh. All in favor? Carried, thank you.
Councilor Reid had something.
Councillor Reid, did you have something else?
No, I was just seconding the motion.
Thank you, okay. Trenton Glee Club. Motion to support or deny, that's what I need. Councillor Armstrong, motion to support, seconded by Councillor Boyce, okay? The amount of, well, I'm just gonna get in the motion. Are you asking to support the amount of 5,000? Thank you. Okay, Councillor Reid.
Thank you very much. I agree that this is just an absolutely wonderful organization, Trenton Seniors Glee Club, but I really don't think that our funding that we're giving out should be for a pianist salary or traveling expenses. I think that there are lots of choirs, there are lots of organizations that do traveling because they enjoy the activity, and so I cannot support this. And then they're asking for money so then they can make a donation later on to another organization, and I just think that that just does not work. So I cannot support anything for the Trenton Seniors Glee Club because we're paying salary, and I don't think that that's what this fund is for.
Thank you. Any other comments? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anybody here? Mike?
Yes, Your Worship.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my
Go ahead.
hand's raised.
Mike?
Depending how this meeting,
Councillor Kotsovas.
thank you, Mr.
Sorry.
Mayor. Depending how this
Sorry.
meeting goes, we could handle all the charitable organizations and applications first, and then whatever money is left over, then we would have a better idea. Because I would tend to agree with Councillor Reid, this is not a charity, so I would have immediately said 0. However, should we look at all the charitable organizations, see what funding we have left, and we could perhaps give this group 1,000 or something? That would be my suggestion. But I would not, if we're voting on them line by line, I would not support this particular application at the full 5,000.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Okay, Councillor Stedall?
I would support both Councillor Kosovo and Councillor Reid as well. I I believe that a minimal amount, $500 or $1,000 would probably be appropriate for this, but I do agree with maybe we should go through the order and take a look and see what funding we have left after we deal with the not-for-profits.
Okay, so, right now, we've got a motion, we need to defer this. I think that's what we're asking to do. Councillor Quinte.
Is there a member of the Trenton Seniors Glee Club here to speak to this?
Yes, come on.
Awesome.
Come on up.
I would like to hear from them
Come on up
first
to the
before
mic
we
and-
vote.
Come up, you have to come up to the mic because we are live and they can't hear. Thank you.
Unaccustomed as I am to stand before the mic here, I wasn't quite prepared. However, I want to thank you all very much for
Can you give
considering
us your
us and
give us
taking
your
the
name,
time.
please?
Is that okay? Can you hear me now? Is that okay? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Eileen LeBlanc, and I am the director of the Trenton Seniors Glee Club. And we have been doing this now for well over about 35 years. And we don't do this for ourselves. Yes, we enjoy doing this, but it's only because we know these people benefit from this service that we do. The people, we go there and they're waiting to be entertained. That's all they have left. And for ourselves, we have not taken 1 cent for gas, nothing. We have volunteered. We volunteer every Wednesday throughout the year, with the exception of July and August, and at that time we're usually asked by the city if we would do a performance, which we do. We're always happy to anyone who would ask us to do a performance, we do it. Some of the places pay us, but some of them don't give us anything. We have to hire a professional piano player for us, and of course we pay him what we have. We also like to give an appreciation to the Legion because we use their premises every week to do our practicing. Let's put it this way without sounding like I'm boasting here, but we feel that what we give to the community is something that, how can we get it back? It's just so rewarding to us when we go there and see these people. Yes, we like what we're doing, but we do it because we want to do it. We don't get any money out of it. We don't make any money. We asked for a grant because it would be nice, like for instance, when I'm directing, I don't have a mic. It's back and forth with the mic. It would be so nice if I could have something that I could talk and speak into, would make it much easier. We have costumes, our costumes, which if we need extra money, we just pay for it ourselves. That's what we do. The only money we get is if we get a donation from the place themselves. Most of them are pretty good, but they don't give a lot. It's not a lot of money. But we always have to pay our pianists for playing for us. So all I can say is, I mean, we applied, but we'd be grateful for anything we could get to help. We're not, it doesn't matter if it was what or anything. We're just very grateful for the fact that you've taken us into consideration, and we love what we're doing, and we'll continue to do it. But we are volunteers. We really are, okay? And I thank you very much for your time. Appreciate this.
Thank you for your time, and
I don't know if there's
obviously
anything else you'd like to ask me, but
Councillor Armstrong, and then I'll come this.
So you saying at, say, the long-term care facilities locally? As
Yes,
an
we do.
example, hospital?
we go to the Crown Ridge.
Yep.
We
Trent
go
Valley.
we go to Seasons. We go to Bayview. We go to
Carrington.
Belleville. We go as far as Deseronto to the
Okay.
Friendly Manor. They have nothing out there. We go to many other places. Last week we went to what's the name of the place we went last, Denise?
The point is that you go to as many as you, when you're asked, you try to get to them.
We do, and we have a schedule. We have a committee, like we have a committee on our own, and we have like a scheduling person who does the scheduling, and we are booked. We're booked right through till December to go and perform at all these different places. And they phone us and ask us, will you come back?
Yep.
Will you come back?
How many are there?
In our group,
Yep.
we have about 20.
Okay.
About 20 of us. We're not always 20 that show
No.
up because some of them, you know, are
Right.
maybe ill or
Okay.
they just leave for whatever reason they have to. But that's normally about what we do. And we go in with our costumes completely in our
Right.
red vests and that. And
Well,
we
I
get
agree with you that
requests.
it's hard to put a dollar value on what you do for these people. Because
Yes,
I've witnessed it. I know most of us probably have. And it is a great thing that you do, and other groups do the same kind of
Thank you.
thing. So
Thank you.
that's why I'm supporting it.
Counselor
Thank you
Sharp.
very much. Thank you.
Counselor Sharp
Oh,
has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you very much for your presentation. And heard your beautiful voices during O Canada. And
Thank
it's
you.
nice to hear the music in the chambers.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to just ask, with regard to the submission, you requested $5,000, but if I read this correctly, club supplies, gift cards, and the pianist is about $1,500. So you don't need all of the money then? We could, look maybe at $2,000, or am I
We-
misreading this?
You know, we'd appreciate anything
Okay.
we could get. We didn't know where to start or how do you approach this? Do you just put down, what
Right.
you think and then take it from there?
So-
That's about it.
so
Wha-
any
Whatever,
little
we
bit would
appreciate
help.
anything that way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but we just feel that it's the community, it's the old people who have nothing left much, and they do look forward to it. They really do. They're sitting there waiting for you.
Well, I'm sure they are.
They
I'm
are,
sure
seriously, they are. They are, they're right into it. They love it, and they say, oh, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And we said, well, we'll have to see on that. So thank you very, very much to all of you. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
I would like to support this Glee Club to some manner, and if I'll take Councillor Sharp's suggestion that we offer $2,000 to assist them with their entertainment of our beloved seniors. It is, they are doing this work, volunteering to do this work, and if we can help out in some small little way, I think we should do so. So I'll make a motion for $2,000.
Well, we-
Mr. Mayor, we have a motion on the floor still for
yeah,
five.
So we could maybe get the first motion, mover and seconder, to agree to a smaller amount.
So
Is that-
Could I amend it myself?
Yes.
To $2,500.
All right, so we have a motion put forward by Counselor Armstrong to support for
Councillor
2,500.
Boyce,
I need a seconder.
Counselor Boyce, you do.
Okay, so the motion on the table then is 2,500. All in favor?
No,
Thank
I have
I have a question.
I have a comment.
you. Okay, comment or question? Counselor Stedall?
So my comment is on the 2,500. So the entire budget is shown as $1,500. So we're actually planning on giving them more than what their entire budget is. Is there a
Well,
reason for the 2,500 put
If we
forward
have
by
to,
the?
this is the motion on the table is 2,500. That's what I've got.
I'm just asking for a reason why it's $2,500 when the entire budget is $1,500.
Well, that's the
We're not-
motion on the
we're-
floor.
we're-
Point of
Motion on the
clarification,
floor is
if you look,
$2,500.
the projections for 2024, it's much more than that. There's mileage, 600, there's salary, 1,200, there's headsets, 1,000, storage, 475. It's much more than that.
But the motion,
I know, I'm just trying to
Oh, okay.
explain to
Well, it's
Councillor
all
Settle
written, it's
that
all-
in the report, there's much more than that.
No, I wrote down 2,000, is that correct? 2,500. 25? Okay, so I've got the motion for 25. Now I need to know,
Councillor Reed had her hand up as well.
Thank you very much. If I may speak?
yes,
Okay, thank you very much. I don't have a problem with the wonderful activity that the Trenton Seniors Glee Club does. But I know for a fact that there are clogging groups. There are many, many people and organizations that do this week after week. And yes, they go to many nursing homes. They go to many hospitals, many long-term care facilities. And so I just think that this is opening up a big can of worms. How do we support one and we don't support everyone that's in the area? That's my issue with it. And so I have a problem with it and I can't support it because I know for a fact there are Bay of Quinte cloggers. There are many, many people that I could name off single-handedly, or a couple that go to the hospital, go to the long-term care home, and they do it weekly and monthly. And yes, they have a full agenda. They're required there because people look forward to the entertainment, and it's something for the residents to hear and listen to and enjoy. But I think it's very difficult to give this to one group and now another group is going to come and another group is coming. I think we're just going to set ourselves up for a problem.
Thank you. Councillor Boyce.
Oh, and that may be the case, but this group has taken the initiative to apply for the grant. It's the only one that's applied for it, and perhaps next year those other groups may end up applying, and we'll deal with it then. But I'm going to support the 2,500. I would have supported 5,000, to be honest, but I'll certainly support the 2,500.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Anything else? Okay. All in favor of the motion? Carried, thank you. Okay, volunteer information, Quinte is asking for 5,000. Need to move in a second or?
No, I have a question.
Well, let's get it on the table first, okay?
I'll move it.
No, it's about something else, but it's okay, sorry.
Councillor Quincy moves, second by Councillor Elliott. All right, now, what question regarding volunteer information, Quinte? Any comments or concerns? That's what I need to know. All in favor? Oh, I got a count here, 3, 5, 6. Carried, thank you. Carried. Community living.
Could I ask a question, sir?
Yep.
Related to this, to Director Denout? I was asked this by a couple of the groups. If they receive the funding, how soon do they get it in their accounts? Because some of them are organizing events very soon based on that.
Good question. Generally, I would wait till the minutes are approved of the next council, so by the end of February is, I think, a realistic 4 weeks. If there was a separate motion to get this money out sooner, I could make it happen.
Checks in the mail.
Legion breakfast, for example, if they get approved.
The eggs are breaking. All right, okay, so I'm at the Batawa Ruby Band as asking for 2,500.
Volunteer information,
Did I miss that one?
volunteer information.
Oh, sorry. Okay, volunteer information. I guess I'm moving ahead. Volunteer information, Quinte, I need a mover and a seconder.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we just voted on volunteer
Okay.
information Quinte. We're on community living Quinte West.
Okay, community living, Quinte West is where we are now. All right, mover and a seconder for this one. That's what I need. Councillor, is that card? Councillor Armstrong, move and second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you. Okay. Batawa Ruby Band, and they're asking 2,500. And we have Renee here and his group. Would you please maybe expand on what you're doing for everybody? Thank you, Renee.
Good afternoon. My name is René Lefort. I'm a resident of Batawa, and I submitted this application mainly for the use of the community center in Batawa. I was told, I asked for permission to use community center, and I was sent a letter that it was going to cost $56 an hour for 2 hours once a week, Sunday nights, because it's the only night that was available for most of the musicians that play in this band. By the way, this is Rube Band, and it's a continuation of a band that was in Germany. 20, 30 years ago, I played in that band in Germany, and the music...
You're not that old, Renee, you know.
Thank you. I'll continue now. Yes, and at the end of all the bases in Europe, all that music, instruments, music especially, came back to central band. They did not want this paperwork, this music, about 200 pieces of music, 4 or 5 cases of music. The original ones were in storage in Baden. It came to Ottawa. It stayed in Ottawa. Central Band did not want it, and they were going to put it in the dumpster. I came upon these pieces of music, and I was told by a director there who was there when I was there, says, on one condition, you can have it all, that you don't throw it away. I've already made plans with the director on the base that it can be stored there. However, we need a place to practice. That was the main the reason for the application, was to use the facility in Ottawa. We've already had 5 practices in restaurants, pizza places, where they say, oh yeah, you can get free entertainment. And that's the reason why we need permission to use the community center. That's why my reason for the application.
Thank you. Thank you. Question?
Yeah, I do, sir. Just point of clarification. I read this, it states $1,000 to buy the music and then $1,500 for rental. Are you saying now you have the music for free, you just need maybe $1,500 to cover your practice rental space?
Yes, that's my reason. The reason for the $1,000 were for incidentals like stands, music stands, anything that we need. That was mainly, the paperwork for these are packages of one song, but for every song, for every instrument, for example, I play a baritone horn, I have to have a binder. Well, I bought all of these binders and I made all the instrumentation myself, and it was to reimburse me for my input in this program. But mainly the important part of it is for the hall rental.
Thank you. Anything else? Councillor Sharp.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you. It looks like a very interesting musical program. My question is more to Mr. Denouden or Director Grimman regarding use of the hall and the funds for that, and I know it's all a cost. Is this going to be just an internal transfer, or can we reduce the amount here and that's covered off on rentals that have been subsidized? This is using Ottawa Community Center. I want to understand if we've got more funds to work with, or is it an in and out, or is this an internal process? Thank you.
Yeah, through your worship. So generally the policy states that you can receive, community group can receive up to $5,000 in a combination of fee waiver and or grant. This grant does seem to overlap with the fee waiver. So we would actually provide this as a grant because that's this program. We would provide the funds. They could use those funds to rent our facility or any facility. If they were denied here, they would simply have to apply under the fee waiver policy, which it sounds like that they would be successful in. So it's really up to the committee whether they want to approve the funds or simply defer them to the fee waiver policy.
Thank you, and could I ask one more, Mr. Mayor?
Just make sure Director Grimman's good.
Oh.
Anything to add?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Sharp. I think Director Denouden covered everything. Just maybe a point, an added note. The fee waiver policy, if eligible, the maximum amount that can be awarded under that is $1,500.
Thank you. Councillor Sharp, another question?
And just subsequent, I understand the rental would be an ongoing need, potentially, subject to other fundraising. But the music and the production of the music elements, that would be one time only? You wouldn't need that again?
No, that'd be one time. It states in the application, it's a one-time application.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Councillor Reid, do you have anything further?
I was just going to make the motion that we have a fee waiver, or that we provide them $1,500 so that they have the use of the hall for their practices. That would be my motion. for the $1,500.
Okay, Counselor
Or
Armstrong.
whichever way works best for Director Denouden and Director Grimmin. Maybe the fee waiver is a better way, but I'm just thinking that my motion is to allow them to use the Battawa Recreation Center for their practicing.
Okay, so I'm taking the first motion is for $1,500. That's what I've got right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, Counselor Stedall, then Counselor Kutsovas. Counselor Stedall?
So I would support Councillor Reid's motion in that it be with a fee waiver, but I also have a question in regards to how much money is in the budget for fee waivers?
I have no idea.
Through your worship, if you give me a minute, I could come up with that number. There's a general allotment
Okay,
for
I'll
fee
come back
waivers.
to you then. Counselor Kutsovas?
Just before he looks up that, Caleb, didn't you mention it would be easier to do it through the grant process, though? If that were the case, I would agree with Councilor Reid and just do 1,500 through the grant process rather than the fee waiver, but still keep the same amount.
Yeah, okay. That's what I've got.
That was my understanding that was the easier way to go.
Okay.
Point of clarification, can you stipulate that the 1,500 has to be used at the Battawa Community Center? It can't be used anywhere else?
As long as it's available, I guess we can do that, yeah.
Can I make a comment, question?
Yeah, go ahead, Counselor Stedall, go ahead.
I think that the reason I'm recommending that we should do it as a fee waiver is to keep it cleaner, because that way, for sure, we understand the money is going to be allocated towards the use of the hall. And also we keep the budget clear as the money is being used for against what the hall is. So when the group is coming to ask for something over and above that, that's what the grant money is for. It's two separate pots of money, but there's two different amounts that are in our budget. So I think that's why I'm recommending what Councillor Reid is saying is that the $1,500 be fee waiver.
Well, I think we're clean either
Cleaner
way.
for budgets. It's better for
Anything?
accounting.
Yes, Your Worship, just an update on the budget there. We have a budget of $7,500 for fee waivers. Last year we spent $6,500. So we get pretty close to getting on over budget by allowing the $1,500 fee waiver for this year. So it doesn't matter either way. If council wants to simply approve the fee waiver, we can do that and keep it off the community grants.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Clerk, give us the motion I've got right now, please.
So, yeah, right now it's just 1,500, but it's unclear whether or not you're doing the fee waiver or through the community grants.
So we got 1,500. Now, okay, do you want the fee waiver? Is that
So
what you want?
the motion is Councillor Reid's, so it will be up to her to clarify.
Counselor Reid, do you want the fee waiver in your
I
motion?
think it would be great. Yes, I think I would like the fee waiver.
Okay, so the $1,500 grant is in, the fee waiver in lieu of the grant, right? Okay?
And if Councillor Stedall is comfortable with that,
Okay.
to second that.
Yes, I support that.
Somebody seconded.
Doesn't matter.
I second it.
Mayor, I think we have an attendee who has their hand raised virtually. Anne Marie, so maybe we'll let her in.
On the screen.
Oh, sorry.
We don't know what group she's related
Okay, that's a later, she's coming up, but right now.
Okay. Sorry, we don't know which group she's a part of, but
She, public input.
Sacred Hearts,
No,
I think.
no, she's got a separate application.
thanks.
Yeah, but not this.
Unless she wants to speak to this issue.
Okay, is that, Anne Marie want to speak to the Roubaix Band? No?
Can't hear you.
I can't hear anybody either. Okay. Yes or no?
okay, the attendee can speak if they wanted to virtually. So
Yes.
if we want to move on, we can move on.
All right, so All in favor of the motion? I think that's what I need. 2, 3. Carried. Thank you, Renee. Thank you very much, and keep up the German work, the good work.
Thank you very, very much.
And I'm glad that you were a member of the military and posted in Germany for a few years, and you're still looking.
I was teaching school there. I was never in the military.
Oh.
29 out of 34 years teaching were in military bases, Cornwallis, Gagetown, Greenwood, in Germany.
Wow. It must have been
Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you. Keep up the good work. We love to hear you, and we love to see you even at the hockey games. It's okay. Okay. All right, so the next is Pregnancy and Family Care at Quinte West, and they're asking for 5,000. So
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Councillor Quincy moved, Councillor McHugh seconds. Comments or questions on this one?
I love babies.
All in favor? All in favor?
They love you.
All in favor is what I need. Thank you. Carried. Okay. Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Hastings and Prince Edward. We got Arlene here, and she's applying for $5,000. Now, are you, I guess, familiar with all the rules related to this 5,000? You're good? Any clarification needed? Councillor O'Neill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Question for you. So are you planning to do the Rib Fest this year? No? Okay. So you realize you get this, you don't get money for anything else? Thank you.
You're not doing the Rib Fest? Holy smokes. Do you realize that the pig farmers will go out of business?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. All right, so
I'll second it.
I got McHugh and Quincy is moving. All in favor of this? Carried. Thank you. That's good. Great. Okay. Arts Quinte West. Arts Quinte West is asking for 4,000, and we're right now. Last year they got 3,500. So I need a motion to do something here.
Motion on the deal.
Quinte Arts Quinte West. I need a motion. Councillor O'Neill moves 4,000. Second. Need a seconder. Councillor Card. Okay. Questions or comments? Questions or comments? All in favor?
Councillor Freeman has a question.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. Didn't see it. Sorry.
No question. I was trying to second it. You just didn't see my hand.
I'm sorry. You gotta. Yeah, I see it now, but I'm sorry I missed it. But I'll do better next time. Thank you. Okay, carried then. Royal Canadian Legion, Branch 110 is asking for 5,000. Councillor Armstrong moves, seconded by Councillor Katsovas. Questions or comments? Is your questions or comments? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. The Hastings and Prince Edward Learning Foundation is asking for 5,000. Councillor McHugh moves, Councillor Boyce seconds. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Quinte Young Professionals is asking for 5,000. Moving a seconder for this one. Councillor Card moves, seconded by, need a seconder? Seconder. Councillor Stedall, did you have your hand up to second? No? Second by Councillor Boyce. Okay. Quinte Young Professionals. Comments or questions?
I have a question.
We have maybe Director Grimman can expand upon this. We have a master plan in the works right now, which will include possibly beach volleyball and all of these things. So I think they should be waiting till that comes out in the spring, possibly. Could you expand
Councillor
upon?
Grimman, will you to me, Mr. Armstrong, please?
Pardon me?
I say you go through the chair.
Through the chair.
Thank you. Councillor, Director Grimman.
Thank
Question
you. Thank you through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Armstrong. Yes, you're correct. We are undertaking a Parks and Recreation master plan. We have met with the group and Morgan, who I see here. I think the group's intentions were to advance a project earlier than the Parks and Rec master plan would be complete. And I think that's why you're seeing the application here, but I'll let them share any further comments or details that they have.
Comment, Mr. Mayor?
Okay, I've got somebody coming up. Come on up, please. Thank you.
My name is Morgan Scott, and I am the Special Events Coordinator for the Quinte West Chamber of Commerce, along with the staff person for the Quinte Young Professionals Group. Back in 2022, we put out a survey to all of our residents here in Quinte West. A lot of people supported the plan. We took that survey to the 2022 Corporate and Financial Services Committee, where we explained to them the need for the volleyball courts. We do have a partnership in the works right now with Quinte Sport and Social Club, and they are willing to pitch in $5,000 worth of in-kind for the first part of the year for a rental agreement. I have met with Director Grimman and made her aware of this project, and we're really hoping to see this project come to fruition before the Parks Master Plan, because the need is there, and we are seeing people traveling outside of our community to play in the Sport and Social Club League, and we think it's a great way to add to the infrastructure here in Quinte West.
Thank you very much. Questions? Councillor Card, then Councillor Sharp.
Thank you, Your Worship, and I'm going to support this. The benefit, not only a few years that the QIP has waited, I think even back when I was on the committee we had kicked around the idea, but QIP will be raising the vast majority of the funds to build the volleyball courts. So it would save the city having to actually install it and all of those costs themselves. And I think one of the big notes is that QIP and Morgan are willing to move it to whatever location and work with staff, whether it's on this side of the river or in Centennial Park. They're open to any of the location possibilities that staff identify. And lots of benefits, I think, of getting that going, especially even in Centennial Park with the pop-ups. We've invested a lot down there and given another opportunity for low-cost family recreation. And that group that's renting it, the really nice thing about it is that the agreement that Morgan has kind of talked about with the Sports League is that the rental that they will pay will basically be the carrying costs, give or take, will subsidize a large amount of the carrying costs going forward. So there's a lot of benefits, and it's not just something that will be handed over that we maintain. There'll be some income to put toward that. So
thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor?
Councillor Stedall?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
First, Councillor Sharp. Go ahead.
Sorry. Sharp, you said her name first. Go ahead.
Yes. Councillor Sharp is next.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor, just that was one of my questions, and I think Councillor Card has referenced it. Where is this going? And I remember some remembrance of the survey and the interest in volleyball when you were here some time ago. Mm-hmm. And it's about where is it going? And I know without the master plan done and this, I think it was $25,000 to do these courts. Is that approximately? Yes. And so that is my question, and we don't know that yet.
So in our survey, the first response was the Trentport Marina, and my CEO, Suzanne Andrews, reached out to Eben James Sr. and did have a discussion with him because of the marina being owned by the Jameses. And he said that he is willing to lend us the land as long as the city maintains the insurance, and to make sure that if he further develops the land, that it can be put back to how it was built before.
Okay.
But we are willing to move it over to Centennial Park because, as Councillor Card mentioned, it would be a great addition to the pop-ups that we already have down there.
And is this intended to be a one-time project-related application to get the courts, and then you would run it with your team and the partners that you have?
Correct, yes. One-time submission.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Armstrong, Councillor Kunz.
So can I?
Oh, go ahead.
Ask my question? Thank you. It's really hard being online. The question I have is really back to staff. This is a piece of the city's infrastructure, and I believe whenever we build parks or do anything, we always have some kind of a business plan as to how it's supposed to be going forward, because at the end of the day, these courts are going to be turned back, and it's going to be the responsibility of the city for the court. So we'll be responsible for insurance, making sure that they're built in a manner that's, you know, least amount of risk. We're going to have to maintain them. We're going to have to budget for them if there's going to be any money that's put into them in the future. So I believe this really should be a city project. It also looks as if it's going to be going on city property, that it should be coming from that spectrum rather than coming through community grants to be built on our properties. So I'm just thinking, I won't be supporting that the community grant goes towards this. I would be recommending that there be a staff report coming back as to how to get these built. And the staff report can also come ahead of the master plan, I believe, and if that's the problem, is there's a timeline that's involved with this. But I think using the community grants for a project such as this is not the intent of the grant program.
Director Grimman, and it's not our land, but Director Grimman, go ahead.
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor. Certainly, I'll receive any direction from council. You're correct that should the group be looking to pursue the marina property, that would be a conversation that we would have to move forward with TCS Realty Company, who own those properties and who we currently lease for the marina. If the group is interested in exploring more conversations regarding Centennial Park, we're certainly happy to do that. At this point, given the undertaking of the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, I think it would be difficult for staff to recommend staff taking on a project in isolation of that plan. But again, we would certainly take direction from council and respect any information or direction that council wishes to provide.
Councillor O'Neill.
So can I follow up with that answer?
Well, I'll get right back to you. Let Councillor O'Neill, I'll come back.
So
to you.
in follow-up to the answer that was received from the question, I would say that I would move that we would defer this decision on the grant until we get that report back from staff.
Okay, need a second for deferral?
Councillor Freeman's hand is
Okay,
up.
deferral is on the deferral. All in favor of deferral? 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I sure I got it counted correctly?
You have 7, Mr. Mayor, for
We
deferral.
got 5 though, right? Or
No, you have 7. You have Councillor Quinte, Councillor Armstrong, all 3 on the screen.
Oh, okay.
And I think you had 2
Okay.
over here.
All right, the motion's carried then. Thank you. Okay. Motion is carried. Deferred, yeah.
Could I just make a comment too before Morgan leaves? I would just like to say that I think it's so refreshing to see a group coming forward and fundraising and putting some effort into things. I know everybody knows that I've been involved in a lot of fundraising over the years, and I find it really refreshing that this professional group is wanting to come forward and contribute. They're not just coming to the city and asking for it to be given to them. They are ready to help. And I think that that's wonderful. So thank you, Morgan, to you and your group.
Councillor Armstrong.
I'm all in favor of beach volleyball. I want that very clear. I sit on the Parks and Rec Committee, and we've talked about this, pickleball, basketball courts, all kinds of things, where they should go and all of this. So to me, you know, it's in a way putting the cart before the horse in a sense. But if I was a betting man, there will be beach volleyball courts. And my personal view would be around the pavilion area. There's a nice spot there, lots of parking. There's a big parking issue here.
Mm-hmm.
There's another issue related to scheduling and stuff like that. If it's going to be a city-operated thing overall, your groups will want to maybe set up leagues and stuff like that. So that would be part of the scheduling. That wouldn't be your responsibility.
That would be the Quinte Sports
Exactly.
Social Club.
No, it'd be the city's responsibility because it's going to be city property.
Okay.
And then you would be part of that, you know, booking process. But overall, you know, it's a good thing.
For
Okay,
sure,
I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure you knew that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're talking about 2 different pieces of property. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I don't find refreshing, here's a group that wants to do something right away, and here we're putting something off again. Like, we need to start moving on stuff and not keep putting everything off to staff reports or not keep putting everything off. It's very frustrating that people want to do something and we're turning them away, which is not right as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. Councillor Card.
I would point out too that the benefit of having an outside group, not only are they going to pay or fundraise for the vast majority of the money needed to build it, but they can go to the private businesses and much more flexible and quicker to come up with kind of ad hoc sponsorships and in-kind donations in a way that the city has a very formalized process for, that it takes a long time. This was started in 2020. Again, I think there were conversations back in the mid-late teens when I was on QIP and about this. So, you know, we wait another year for the master plan and maybe it's identified as a 2027 project that the city has to pay for. I mean, you know, it's a long time to wait when we have the group that's saying, you know, we're asking for just a small chunk of this, and we're even going to hand you a contract with the league that's going to, you know, defray a bunch of the maintenance costs too. So it's disappointing.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? Councillor.
I would just echo Councillor O'Neill and Councillor Card's point. I'm in favor of this as well. As actually my first term of council got brought up, so Councillor Card's correct, it was the mid-teens, 2015. What I just didn't agree with in this proposal that it could be on private land. So I would hate to see that your group puts all the work and money into this and the city helps fund it. And as you mentioned, that it could turn around and get redeveloped. So I would totally support the $5,000 and even more for that matter if it were in Centennial Park, had that been determined, and if it is in the master plan around the pavilion area so that it can complement the pop-ups.
I have one more comment, Your Worship.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
So I just want to clarify is that I am completely in support of these courts going ahead. I think it's an excellent activity. It's the same with any sport. I think we really need, and it's excellent that we have a group that's coming from outside that's going to assist us. This application for the grant is not the correct process. And by deferring, I do not believe that staff is going to take any great length of time to defer the staff report because they've been given direction to bring the report back before the master plan. So I think the turnaround is not going to be that great. And I just want to clarify and make it really clear to the group is that I am fully supportive of this project going ahead. It's just to make sure that it's in the appropriate space. And there's a long-term plan. You don't want to put a project like this in 1 year and then have it peter out just like the baseball diamond that's up here at Montrose Park. I'd like to see there be some longevity to this project, and that's why I'd like to see the city staff be included in the project as it goes forward.
Okay, Edge, go ahead.
Because
Councillor Boyce, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I want this to get done this year. I'm procedurally, I think I'm allowed to raise that we give them $4,500 and that it be put into that it be built on a city-owned property. I think most of us around the table would agree that rather than put it on a property we don't own, we put it in one of the parks that we do own. So I'm going to put the motion because it's a different amount financially. We give them $4,500 this year, and with the stipulation that it goes into one of our publicly owned parks.
So they're going to work with Director Grimman? That's what you're asking, correct?
Yeah, that they work with Director Grimman on a city-owned, and we do it this year.
Okay. Councillor McHugh.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So the other motion is lost, and this is a new motion for process.
Well, did we have the other?
Yeah, we had a motion to defer, so just process.
The motion.
And that motion was carried.
Yes.
So, is there?
Yes,
how do we bring it back up? That's
So
my
through you
question. Can we
to
or-
council, the motion to defer passed.
Yes.
So motion to reconsider would require two people who voted to defer the matter to move Councillor Boyce's motion.
Is it the two who supported the defer or two who voted no?
Just two who voted in support of the deferral.
Okay, well, that's not hard. I don't think we go wrong there. Pardon? Well, we didn't do a recorded vote, so who voted to support it, the deferral? Okay,
So Councillor Quinte, Councillor Armstrong.
Okay, all right, okay, so I can't really go wrong then.
Actually, point of clarification, if there's no recorded vote, that means everyone voted in favor for it, as far as I'm concerned. Is that not right?
I don't think so.
Favor to defer.
No. not everybody voted in favor. So.
I don't know if we had 7, so I'd ask for a recorded vote.
Okay, so you're moving the motion and Councilor McHugh is seconding the motion. Okay? So that's what I have right now. Are you okay with that, Mr. Clerk?
So I think perhaps the easiest way, if there's support, is council just waive the rules of procedure to allow this vote to go forward.
All right, so I need a mover and a second to the waive. Okay, Councilor O'Neill moves, Councilor Boyce second to defer the, I guess.
Waive the rules of procedure, and you need
Remove the procedural
three
rules.
quarters.
Throw the mud at the fan.
And I'll ask for a recorded vote on that one.
A recorded vote to waive the rules of procedure.
Well, I need a vote on waiving the procedural rules. That's all in favor of that. That's what I need to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carried. Okay, thank you.
No.
All right, now.
Mr. Mayor, you need 2/3.
Well, I thought I had.
You need 2/3 to waive the rules of procedure.
I thought I had that. So, okay, let's hold them
You
up
only had
again.
6.
2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3.
There's one on the screen. So it's carried, right? Correct? Okay.
Eight of 13.
You did 9.
Not 2/3.
You
need 9,
votes?
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, well, I might better call for a recorded vote, and then you'll know. Can I ask for a recorded vote? That way you'll know.
Under the procedural bylaws, even if we've had a vote, a council member or mayor can call for a recorded vote on that last one. See, I don't know if we had 7 on that last one, so I can call for a recorded vote, and then hopefully that motion to defer will lose, and then I can bring up under won't have to be a reconsideration.
That's what we're doing.
So through you to Councillor Boyce, so we've already had the vote on the deferral motion, which passed to defer.
Right.
I'm saying under the procedural bylaw, then a council member then ask for a.
Okay, well, that's what we've done. That's what we've done. So now I'm asking for a recorded vote on the.
So through you to council, so once a motion has been decided and put, then it's done. Under the procedural bylaw, you can't call for a recorded vote after it's already been voted on.
Well,
you have to call for.
We're
Perhaps I'm misunderstanding what.
We're voting on the deferral.
The deferral has already.
I know we did, but I'm not sure I had the 2/3 that I required. So I'm asking for a recorded vote on that deferral to make sure I have the required number of votes.
So if that's the ruling of the chair, then I will take a recorded vote.
Thank you. Read the motion.
We'll chat after. Okay, so we're doing a recorded vote to defer the matter, just so I'm clear.
To remove the deferral, isn't that what we want to do?
Suspend the rules.
Well, we did suspend the rules.
You didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I haven't got, that's making sure I've got just the 2/3 of the vote to suspend the rules. Okay, all right. That's what the vote is on.
I'm not clear, Mr. Mayor, on what we're voting on here.
I want to make sure, we need 2/3 of the votes to suspend the rules, correct? And I'm not sure I have that many, so I need to make sure I have it. That's why I'm asking for a recorded vote.
To suspend the rules to consider Councillor Boyce's motion. Okay,
Right.
I understand.
We did
Okay.
vote on it, Mr. Mayor, and the clerk did count the hands. It should be done. It didn't pass.
Okay, but I'm asking for a recorded vote.
As
That's
the
what I'm
chair,
asking
he's entitled to do that. Okay, Councillor Ellier.
Yes.
Counselor Armstrong.
You said no.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
No.
Counselor Boyce.
Yes, and may I say, under 5.8, voting on motions, that any member may request a recorded vote. A request for a recorded vote must be made immediately prior to the taking of the vote. Okay. All right, but I say yes on this one.
Okay. Counselor Card.
Yes.
Counselor Freeman.
No.
Counselor Kotsavos.
Yes.
Counselor Quinte.
No.
Counselor McHugh.
Yes.
Counselor O'Neill.
Yes.
Counselor Reed.
Yes.
Counselor Sharp.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a staff report. Can I speak to my
You've
vote?
already voted, the motion's on the table.
Well, it's a no.
Counselor Stedall.
No.
Mayor Harrison.
Yes.
You have 8 yeas, 5 noes. So, which is not 2/3. So that does not pass.
Okay. Okay, so the motion still stands, deferral.
Yes, the deferral still stands.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for your consideration.
Thanks, Morgan. Don't, yeah. Obviously, you don't spend it till you get it, right? Okay, but we appreciate your work and we're, okay. All right, Trenton Rowing and Paddling Club is asking for $5,000 and they received $523. So, Councilor Armstrong, are you moving? Moving. I have a seconder, Councilor Katsovas. So the motion is to support. Motion is to support.
Could I speak to that?
Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that it would be nice to give them the slip rental for free. That it's not free, but to give them that. I think that that's the motion that I would be supporting, not the full 5,000.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Katsovas?
We'll support this. I just have a question to clarify with staff. Does the city have an extra finger dock, or for that matter, that they could donate to the Trenton Rowing and Paddling Club? Because part of their money that will be spent in this grant application is towards fixing the current dock.
Suzanne Andrews, are you speaking to this?
If we could donate.
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Worship. Suzanne
Thank you.
Andrews. I'm the treasurer for the Rowing and Paddling Club, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Good, okay. Question, Councilor?
Mine was more to the city. I didn't know if we had an extra one, then that
I
would.
don't know. It's usually that special, what do you call it, like a jigsaw puzzle that puts together and floats.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what it usually is, but I don't know. Councilor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Director Grimmin. Where the boat is on the marina, I don't believe there could be a boat there anyways. Could there not be?
Through Mr. Mayor to Councillor O'Neill, just to clarify, are you referring to the dragon boat that is?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yes, that is correct. It's not a rentable slip space. We do use the end of a dock for that. That is not in our inventory of rentable slips.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor then? Carried, thank you. Thank you very much, Suzanne. You answered all the right questions. Eight Wing CFB Trenton Community Recreation is asking for $5,000. Need a mover and a seconder to get it on the table.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilor Kunze, second by Councilor McNew. Okay. Comments or questions? Eight Wing CFB Trenton Community Recreation. Councilor Armstrong.
Where are the classes conducted, or on the base gym or MFRC or what?
Yeah, sorry, I'm Caitlin Salisbury, the manager of Community Recreation for Eight Wing. So they're held at the Recplex, the Recreation Center.
Okay.
Any other comments or Councilor Sharp?
Thank you. Thank you through you. Just to clarification, this program, this fitness program would be open to all members of the community?
Absolutely. And that's why it's not funded publicly by the wing.
Okay. And I don't see a user fee.
So the ask for the 5,000 was to cover both wage and equipment so that it would be free for users.
Would you consider having a fee? And we don't often get many programs at no charge.
Yeah.
Because, you know, every little bit helps. And this is a new application for the full 5,000.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And I do think if there was a fee, that could offset these costs.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
It was written the way it was to reduce that barrier for seniors in the community. But if that was
right.
part of the grant, absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Thanks for coming. Are the participants expected to transport themselves to the facility? Then they find their own way home after that? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
We cannot include transportation with that.
All right. Thank you. I do like this idea, so I'm going to support it.
Thank you. Councillor Katsoukas?
Thank you. I'm in favor of the idea as well. I think it's a good cause. However, I would not support the full amount. First, it's not a registered charity. It mentions 30 participants. I would want to ensure that preference goes to Quinte West members, because you do mention like you could pull from Brighton or other surrounding areas.
Yeah.
So as long as it was Quinte West, because that's what the grant's for. And then on it shows up 188 page on ours. For equipment and supplies equals 1,700. The wages are 3,350. So that would be the reason I wouldn't support the full 5,000, because part of it would be subsidizing wages. But I would want to give them something, whatever the council considers.
Okay, I have the motion, I think, for the full amount, don't I, right now? Yes, you do. Yes, I have the motion for the full amount, 5,000. So we have to defeat this motion before we can put something else. Any other comments or questions?
I do have a question. When we supply the funds, we could ask the question about how the funds are getting distributed and request that the organization can report back to us. So if I understand, like, you want to start this in the fall, though?
We've just never applied for this grant before, so we weren't
Correct.
sure of the timeline of when it would be approved. So when we had submitted it, was to start it sooner than now, not realizing that it wouldn't have been voted on by.
Oh, I
the
see,
time.
yeah, because the application was submitted back in September.
Yeah.
So you were anticipating hopefully
Hopeful
getting it in
for-
November and getting started. Now here it is almost February and we're talking about it now. So you would plan for next November to get this up and running,
could
or you
still
would
start
start
it.
right away?
We could use it right away. So what we see is an
cool.
increase
Well, that would be good.
senior participants in the winter months. And so we could start it right away. We would just have it run through June from whenever we could procure the equipment.
Okay, thanks. I'm still supporting the full amount because I want to see this go.
Okay, so I have the full amount here now as 8 wing is for 5,000. I have to know how many, I guess, support this. That's what I need to see. 1, 2, 3, 7, including me. So that's 7 support the motion. Motion's carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, United Way Hastings and Prince Edward is asking for 5,000. We were invited to, on Saturday, to curling bonspiel, and United was in support of United Way. All of council invited. Thank you. All right, so United Way Hastings and Prince Edward is asking for 5,000. Councillor Armstrong moves, seconded by, need a seconder, Councillor Quinte, okay. That's the full amount. Questions or comments? Anyone, questions or comments? Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Does the city have a payroll deduction program for Quinte West employee donations?
Yes.
And would that affect this grant? If we were to approve this grant, would we still be able to do that?
Through your worship, we do have a payroll deduction program, and no, this grant is unaffected by the employee contributions to United Way.
You good? Anyone else? Anyone else? Councillor Sharp.
Thank you. Through you, the Day of Caring program, have the other municipalities contributed? I see here there was outreach to them, I believe, in the report. Is anyone here to answer that?
Is there anyone here who can answer that? I can't answer it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, all in favor of the, so that's what I need, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carried, thank you. Trenton Racket Club is asking for 5,000. Need a move in a seconder for this one.
Here, I'll put it on.
Councillor McHugh moves it. Need a seconder? Seconder? Councillor Boyce. Okay. Moved and seconded, so it's on the table. Trenton, want to speak to it? Anyone? Trenton Racket, come on up. Come on up. Thank you.
My name's Lisa Rafasi, and I'm the administrator for the Trenton Racket Club.
So you throw the rockets or the...
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're glad you're here. Don't think we're not. Yes. Any questions? Any questions? You've got someone to answer your questions. Councillor Sharp.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. And is pickleball taking over the courts?
It is. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we doubled our court surface this past season. Thanks to the grant from Quinte West, we were able to add 2 extra courts, 4 new nets, major overhaul for the procurement of play that was very successful. We were able to host many events, one in which was a supporting fundraiser for Three Oaks Women's Shelter. And we also hosted the Bay of Quinte Tennis Championships and the Casa Tennis Championships. We provide our facility at no charge.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Councillor McHugh.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, based on the grant you got last year, it sounds like it was a success story. You're moving ahead, you're doing well, and you're going to add or do repairs to a 3rd court. So better things in the future. So I have no problem supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Court 3, I guess you call it, has been always under repair.
It is.
Like, what's the total for this?
The total for
'Cause
that
I hear
is
it all the time.
Yep, we've actually sourced out 3, about $100,000, the most recent one.
Is that just resurfacing or dig up and put down?
We have drainage issues, and we're in consultation with the golf course because although the Court 3 used to be for 25 years one of the best surfaces up there, the drainage issues have contributed to a resurface requiring more than just a resurface. So, but Court 1 and 2. We have some repairs and maintenance that we're looking at for this year, but they're minor in comparison to Court 3. We want to be able to maintain, for the safety of everything we're doing, some crack repair, that's what it's called. So not full court surface repair, and we need to purchase windscreens. We have, pickleball's a different sport. It's than the tennis, not different as in strange, but different as in unique, because I know there's a lot of pickleballers here in the room, but the ball they use is definitely impacted by the wind, so we do have to procure windscreens all around the court.
Is that the natural wind or the wind from the players?
Both.
Have the repairs increased because of Councillor Boyce and Councillor O'Neill from falling and all that and getting beat by
and the
Mark
outfits
Phillips?
they wear when they're in a charity event? Yes.
I see. So that's part of the cost.
No.
It's also on the news that Prince Edward County Pickleball have already raised $100,000.
Yes, we look to our partners in pickleball and tennis to see their success, and we have a volunteer fundraising committee that has been stood up for that project. But our request today is to continue the maintenance.
I understand. But as Councillor McHugh has said, you're doing the right thing and you're making progress. That's great. Any other comments or questions? That's what I need to know. All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Okay, the Ladies of Sacred Heart Badawa asking for $2,500 and okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at last year. Yeah, I just read it backwards. That's all. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, they received 25 and they're asking for 5. So I need a mover and a seconder for this one.
I'll move it.
Councilor Quincy moves, Councilor Sharp seconds, okay? Councilor Stedall, okay. I got Councilor Quincy and Councilor Sharp. Comments or questions? Comments or questions?
You have Anne Marie Aquino Coward. She's able to speak to her application.
Okay, just, is she available, Anne Marie? Councilor Neal, you have a question, so maybe you can.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Director Jardine. For a digital message sign, there has to be an approval. Have they applied for any approvals, or they even know if they'll be able to get an approval for a digital message sign?
Through your worship, I'm not aware if they've made an application. You're correct, it would require a sign permit. I'm not aware if one's been submitted.
Good. I believe there's houses around there that they might not qualify. I see that the other one is for $3,000 for accessible doors, but I think before a message sign, they should probably make sure they get approval before they do it.
Yeah, our sign bylaw is so much fun. Yeah. Well, we can, if you can, whatever you do, put in the motion based on getting approval for the sign. Okay. Anything else, Councilor Kutsopoulos?
Similar to Councilor O'Neill's point, I thought the same thing. We turned down a sign for North Murray Industrial Park, I'm sorry, the Caring Place Industrial Park, and that services the entire city. As he mentioned, I'm not even sure they'll be granted this electronic sign, so I would be prepared to move the $2,900 for the door covering, and at least they get started, and that covers that cost.
Okay.
And we'll have to wait about the sign.
Okay, anybody else, any other questions? Councilor McHugh.
Yeah, I would second the motion for the doors, because I see they also use this as an emergency shelter should the need be there for the school. So, yeah, I'd support the motion for the $2,900 for the doors.
So that's the motion.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, well, we can hear you.
Oh, hi, just a sec. Sorry, I'm having communication problems. Hold on a second. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the sign. I've already been in contact with Quinte West. I called 3 times. I said I do not need a permit. It's going to be a normal sign with like a 3x5 box underneath, so that I don't have to go out in the snowbank and put letters up. So that's the kind of sign that we're looking for. We're not looking for a giant, like those cannabis signs you see on Dundas Street. That if you wanted the clarification, they said, 1, I did not need a permit, which is $500, and I told them it was going to be digital, and I have had companies already looking, but we're saving for it because it's quite expensive. A sign without the digital box is close to $9,000.
They are expensive, but you still have to have a permit, and the permit is.
Okay, so I have called Public Works, and they talked to the engineers, and they said I did not need a permit. So what should I do?
I think we
Any
better double check tomorrow to make sure, but I usually we do have a sign bylaw, and you've got it's quite extensive because we can't allow something to be put up that might impact somebody else's ability to sleep. So that's what we have to look at. So, and the hours of operation and so on. So, but I'll ask.
So it's being replaced by the vandalized sign. So it's not, the space is going to be the same. That's I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Well, I understand what you're telling me, but I still have to make sure everything's done properly. Director Jardine, any further comment to that?
Yes, through Mr. Mayor, I think I'd advise the applicant to contact the building department and have the same conversation, provide the information. Normally we receive some more detailed information around the sign, size of the sign, type of the sign, and then we will do a review. Like you said, it's very it would be quite unusual that a permit would not be required, so I suspect one probably is, but certainly the contact would be with the building department, so that would be my advice to the applicant.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Then do you advise I go in with some of the paperwork that I have developed
Yeah.
over the last year?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Come in to the,
That's fine. Thank you.
okay. Councillor Reid, comment or question?
Yes, I just had a question. I wondered if the Ottawa Development Corporation was going to help with this new sign.
No.
Have
I
they been
asked them,
approached?
I asked them a year ago and they said after they built their 47 houses, they might. So no.
It would seem nice that they would want to help with the sign for their community.
I know.
We
Yeah, so the
understand.
Ladies of Sacred Heart are doing it because there's a lot of people seniors that don't have computers, etc. So this way it just gets the word out because like I said, it got vandalized and so we can hardly get the letters up now. One side's totally wiped out and now it's starting to rot. And so the little hall is quite active and it just tells what activities are going to happen that day.
Well, it's
But still
yeah.
expensive.
Well, thank you very much, and it's unusual because very, very little vandalism occurs in Ottawa. Thank you.
That's right.
I appreciate the work that everybody does there to keep it safe. Thank you. Councillor Stedall.
Hockey sticks.
Councillor Stedall.
Thank you, Your Worship. I believe we already have a resolution on the floor. It's already been moved and seconded for the $5,000. And then there's an indication that some councillors would want to change it to $2,900 in order to support the accessibility, which the accessibility washrooms, I mean, there's usually grants for those types of things, but I would, maybe we should move that we would reduce the amount, approve the 2,900 at this time and defer the balance of the reserve until we get information back, or the balance of the grant, if we get information back that the sign is approved. Because if it's back to staff, then I just don't want to see them not be eligible for the balance of the grant if the sign is going to move forward.
Well, they need it in the grant then to be able to do and investigate the sign process, and if they're successful, then we'll support the sign, the grant for the sign. Councillor Sharp.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I believe the motion was made by Councillor Quinte and I, and so I'd like to stick with the original motion of $5,000, subject to the approval of the sign by Building and Planning Department. But
I agree to
my
that.
motion is still the same.
I agree to that.
Councillor Quinte.
Thank you. Okay, any further comments or questions? All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll vote yes. Thank you.
So, just the last question. So do I go and meet with the planning department now bring my stuff with the sign?
Yes. Planning and building, you come in and see Director Jardine. He'll be at the top of the stairs.
Okay,
Or
Councillor
Grimmon, maybe it's Councillor Grimmon. I'm sorry, Director, Director.
Mr. Mayor, just so that just so the applicant can obviously speaks to the right person, I'd recommend they speak to the building department. They can bring their information in, go to the building department. They're the right people to speak to. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, councillors. We're working
We'll
real
get you
hard. We're not a big group, but we're working.
Thank you very much, and keep making snow out there.
And great pies.
Thank you. Thank you. Many people love the snow, so. Okay. Ottawa Lions Club is asking for 4,000. Ottawa Lions Club, Councillor McHugh and Councillor Armstrong for 4,000, correct? Okay, comments or questions? All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. Carried, thank you, well, that's good. Victorian Order of Nurses serving Yes, the Trenton branch is asking for $5,000. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Card. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Air
Mr.
Force City. No, that's
Mr.
it?
Mayor,
Yes.
could I get a total from the treasurer on
Yes.
what's been approved so far?
We'll get a
In
total,
dollar
yes.
amounts?
Yeah, that's it for us. Should we give us a total, Director Benoit?
Yes.
So through you, Your Worship, we are currently at 70,500 approved, and the budgeted amount was $76,000 in our budget.
Okay, so we're at 70 and, yeah, anything else? Anything else? That's,
Could I make another motion then? Volunteer and Information Quinny's doing the soccer tournament.
yes,
Is there any way we could give another $1,000 or $1,500 to them to help them with all the work they're doing for this soccer tournament coming up in October? Make a motion for $1,500 additional to Volunteer and Information Quinny.
Councillor Kunce, you're seconding?
No, I had a
I got a motion.
comment
I got a
on that.
mover. I need a
I don't want to
second.
second that amount.
Pardon?
I want to help them, but not for that amount.
Councillor Card seconds, okay. Comments or questions? Councillor Kunce, Councillor Stedall is next.
That item wasn't on today's agenda. And now Volunteer and Information Quinny, they've already left, so they can't even be here to speak to it. And Director Grimmin has some information. During the meeting, I sent her a message that I wanted to talk to her about this. My understanding is that this soccer tournament is going to be a gigantic amount of work for Volunteer Information Quinny, as well as the City of Quinny West. And after a brief chat about it, $1,500 is not going to do it. That won't be enough. So I think what we would need to do is we would need to invite Volunteer Brenda to come back for and speak to it, either to the committee or have a meeting with Director Grimmin to lay out the plan going forward for the tournament. So $1,500 is not enough, not even close.
Director Grimmin, any comments at this time, or you don't have to, but.
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor. Yes, Volunteer Information Quinny is part of our local organizing committee for that upcoming event. Without them here, I certainly can't speak to their resourcing and how they plan to fund and resource this. I know they certainly have committed to doing so. We can continue to have those conversations at the staff level with the group as part of the organizing committee commitments, and certainly bring back any information to council should there be any additional requests.
So we'd be making a premature decision if we just set an amount today, because that's, without any real information, that's definitely not going to work.
Councillor O'Neill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the treasurer or director of finance, if we're $5,500 under budget, so if we are to wait and the
Soccer.
no, the beach volleyball, if that's deferred, we'd have enough to approve the beach volleyball if we were to wait. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you, Your Worship. That was my question. I was supposed to ask a question before.
I'd like to remove my motion then.
Okay, so you're removing your motion?
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay, but you want to add another?
No. I just wanted clarification that we
okay.
still have the money left
Okay.
if
all right,
that was
okay.
deferred.
All right, that's fine. Thank you. I'm a little slow, but.
Can I make a
CEO
comment?
Blazy, comment?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just a quick comment for clarification. My understanding is council has approved 70,500 in grants today.
Yes.
Plus, there's 5,000 that's been deferred that could be coming into that fund in the future, which would be 75.5, and the budget we had was 76 when we started. So
So we did very well. We've
So
done well.
I just make that comment, just if there's any other thoughts or discussion about additional funds, I would say we have 500 to play with.
Okay, I think we'll take it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor?
Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's in good shape. Have you got a question?
Yeah, one of the items on the agenda had to do with the watering of the plants out at Wallbridge Garden, but we don't need that anymore. So was that removed? I didn't see that. Perfect. Well, we didn't need it anyways. Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I need 2 for confirmation and 2 for adjournment. Thank you very much. It's great to get out of here before the snow flies. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Thank you very much.